Hello, everyone. My name is Jana Toomey, and welcome to this Tomorrow's Talent Series Q&A. Today, we are joined by the marketing department. Tomorrow's Talent Series is all about showcasing in-demand careers through virtual job shadowing videos, Q&A events such as this one, and curriculum resources. Today, we are joined by David Sim, who is an account manager for the marketing department. How are you doing today, David?
Great, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks so much for being here.
Happy to be here.
For those of you tuning in, if you haven't had the opportunity yet, make sure you stop by our Tomorrow's Talent Series website and check out their video that actually covers a variety of different careers within marketing, which we'll dive a little bit deeper into today. So with that, if you have any questions for us, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see that Q&A feature. Feel free to chat us your questions. All right. With that, David, can you tell us a little bit about the history of the marketing department?
Sure. The marketing department was founded here in Houghton about 14 years ago. It was founded by Dave Olson, who ran an agency in Chicago called Marketing Support. He came from the area and came back to the area, founded the marketing department, and now he is the creative director here at the marketing department. And we have our principal, Karen Olson, and the two of them run the agency together. We've been here in these offices right in downtown Houghton for about a year and a half now, but we've always been located right here in the Keweenaw, and we have clients all throughout the Upper Peninsula and even beyond for some of them. So we don't just serve our clients who are in Houghton, we serve clients all around, and we do a pretty darn good job.
Oh, that's great. So, as an account manager, can you tell us a little bit about what your position is responsible for specifically?
Sure. So as the account manager, my job is to be the interface between the creative and the client. So I am the people person of the agency, if you will. So the client might come to our agency with a problem or a question or a need. We would work through those things together, get their initial ideas, find out what the problem is, and then maybe even set a budget of this is how much money we have to spend to try and solve this problem. And then I'll take that back to our creative team. Our creative director will think about a problem strategically. We'll do our best to solve that problem, and then I'll be that interface between the client. So here's what we think, here's our solution, here is the end deliverable, and we'll go back and forth and make changes. But I'm sort of the conduit between the question and the answer, if you will.
Got it. So, what kind of education or training background did you have for this current role?
I personally came from a marketing background. I went to school in Milwaukee at Marquette University. I come with a television and radio background. So I wanted to go into sports broadcasting. That was sort of where I had my heart set. I had a minor in marketing. And then I had some experience in that. And then I came back up to the UP. Did some journalism writing. I worked for a newspaper for a couple of years, sort of cut my teeth on press writing and what it takes to work quick timelines and deadlines. And then I found an opportunity. I worked for a hospital. I was the marketing manager for the Aspirus Hospital in Ironwood, and actually served that role for 5 years. And that's where I sort of learned what my skill set was. And I learned that I'm a pretty good people person. I have good communication skills, so I can do the marketing and strategic thinking of everything. But I'm good with talking to people as well and sort of communicating what ideas are. So that brought me to the marketing department, and so I'm able to utilize those skills pretty much on a daily basis. I've been here now for the last 18 months. I think that no matter what type of job you go into in the marketing field, you should have good communication skills, even if you strictly want to think about design, you need to be able to talk through your ideas, talk to the clients, talk to each other, and be able to describe how to make things a reality.
Wow, it's so interesting your diverse background within the field. So you
Yep.
mentioned that you have, some education in marketing. You went to school for it, but what are some of the skills that you've learned through the years on the job that you feel really benefit you?
Uh, Honestly, like you can come with. So there are a couple. Let me start over here. I think that writing is the number one thing. You need to be able to understand what the problem is and then think strategically about a solution. And being able to write down whether it's making a flow chart, whether it's sort of like visual writing in terms of writing a path to something, or if it's more long form writing. I come back to it time and time again is that being able to take the ideas that you have in your head and being able to put them down in a way that's understandable for others to sort of know what you're thinking and what the long-term goal is absolutely critical. So number one is sort of writing, and not just words, but visual as well. Number two, communication. You need to be able to talk to each other. Like, even though we live in a time where texting and email is everything, being able to talk to a person face to face, picking up a phone, and being able to communicate effectively would be the number two thing. And I think knowing what your skill set is and how to utilize that. So if you're a good artist, like lean into that hard. If you are a great video or audio editor, like learn as much as you can about that field and really become an expert at it. There's a lot of room to be a jack of all trades, but if you are an expert at something and you can figure out a way to leverage that, that will take you miles.
So, what are some of your favorite aspects of your current position?
I like the variety of what I do, and I think that is what is appealing to working in a marketing agency. When I worked in healthcare, I mean, it is, it's fast paced, but eventually, like having to always go through those same marketing thoughts about healthcare it can be a challenge. I think that when you work in an agency or you get that little slice of variety is wonderful. Like it opens up your creativity to whole new levels. There are some days when you're working on you get to think about a food product, and then you switch gears, and then you get to work with a healthcare client, and then you get to work with Michigan Works or somebody like that. Like it is always fast paced, even when on a slow day, you still get some sort of variety. And no 2 days are ever the same. No two problems are ever the same. And there's always more than one solution. Like being able to collaborate with your fellow coworkers to come up with ideas and brainstorming, it always I always feel energized when I get to do stuff like that. So for sure, it is the variety of being challenged with different things all the time.
So, in the video, we learned a little bit about the different positions within the marketing department, such as graphic design, website design, and social media management. Are most marketing departments as diverse as this one?
Even more so. We're a relatively small team. I mean, across the gamut, like there are some marketing agencies that focus on one specific thing. So maybe they might do just digital things, or they might do just web design, or some of them might just do like TV production or something like that. So there are agencies that do very specific things. We tend to be a very diverse team. So even though there are skill sets like Sean, who does web design, he also pulls through on some design things. I will do some digital strategy a good portion of my time. So we all have different skill sets and can kind of lean into each other, but for sure there's even more diverse things than what we have. You can be you can do digital strategy and work on like Google Ads. You can do social media writing. You can be a content writer. You can just work on design. There's all kinds of spaces for people who want to find their niche. But even in like a digital agency, they still have designers and copywriters and people who place ads and people who work with the clients and people who work on the strategy side. So if there's a client that wants to sell, let's say, macaroni and cheese, they figure out how that works from start to finish, like what things need to be said, and sort of put the program in place before the designer goes to work.
So we see or we hear about, you know, a lot of trends and different things. What are some of the current trends in marketing that you feel you've been incorporating in your recent work?
I think one of the things that we do really well is I think we do our social media really well. We tend to be more straightforward with our clients, mostly because our agency is like a business to business type agency rather than like consumer products. Like we don't really sell products to consumers like macaroni and cheese, for instance, but we do work with some manufacturers and stuff like that. So one of the things that we tend to work on, and one of the things that we tend to work on with trends are things like colors. We've adapted really strongly to the bright color schemes. We also have followed in like the big bold headline adaptations. But I think for the most part, like where our strength is we tend to be like that heater fastball down the middle, and we tend to go with what we know works. So we tend to leave off the memey things rather than things that just go for attention, and more on the strategic growth side.
So when a new client comes to you, what are some of the things that they're asking you to help with?
It could be a variety of things. Most of the time, it starts from a position of how can you help our business grow? So it might be like for our healthcare clients, it might be something along the lines of, we have a new pediatrician, how do we grow our pediatric service line? For someone like one of our B2B clients, it might be, we have this product that we want to tell an industry about. How do we go about telling them? So they have a problem, and we come in with a solution. And then how the process usually works is sometimes, like at the beginning of a website project or something like that, we'll get the client specifically involved, have like a kickoff meeting or an informational meeting with myself and some of our team members, and talk about exactly what their problem is, and brainstorm with the client. Other times we might do some brainstorming on our own, try to think of some solutions, and then take that back to the client. So usually that's how the process begins, but almost always it starts out with some sort of problem that we go back and try to find a solution for. And it can be something even more serious, such as like, we had a cybersecurity breach at our organization. We need to do some crisis management or something like that, or something a lot less dire, like our website is insanely outdated. We need some help. In the case of what we did for Michigan Works, in the video that you saw, we talked a lot about Michigan Works. Their problem is we've been hearing from businesses all across the UP that they're having problems finding employees, and so that was sort of the the beginning of a whole project for them, and it turned into a pretty big process.
So as you're working on, your strategy and your solutions for these companies, I mean, besides their main issue that you're trying to tackle, what are some of the problems that you're solving along the way as your ideas come together?
Sometimes it can be things like overcoming a sales challenge. So it might be like internal hurdles as well. So one of our clients we're building a website for, and so as we've done this, we had to talk on the website about how does a client or how does a potential customer call you and order a part or place an order with you. And what that ended up doing is it sort of forced us all to think about the sales process. Is there a more efficient way to take a sales call? Would it be possible to build a form on your website so you can take orders electronically? So as you do each part in every project, sometimes it opens up new problems, sometimes it opens up new opportunities, new solutions. And I think that's one of the things that makes our agency really strong, is that we tend to think about projects holistically and really strategically, in that we don't just deliver a website. We really do think about all of the things that go into a website and try and make the whole entire process better for our customers. Like there's always more solutions that we come up with when a project begins than when it started. We're always learning new things about our client and coming up with new ideas that were well outside of the scope of where we started.
Do you think that companies, tend to overlook certain details in a marketing or brand strategy that you feel are more important than sometimes they're given credit for?
Um, I think so. I think that's because there are some companies that either don't place the value on marketing, that where it sort of begins from. So they kind of take marketing for granted until they really need to support sales, or they just don't understand all the benefits of it and what it can really do. Um, I think that sort of it doesn't come from a place of malice or anything like that, but it's just they're focused on other things, like how to build a great part rather than how do we go out and tell these messages to tell about how great these parts are. So they get focused on the things that they know that they're really good at. Um, like when you have a company that is really strong in engineering, they tend to want to do the engineering stuff and focus on that rather than the marketing side. And I think that's where a good marketing team like the marketing department can come in and support them. Like we can use our expertise to help support and grow their sales.
So, what dreams or visions do you have for the marketing department's future?
Um, we're always looking at growing our own business. We don't try to step out of our zone or try to become too big for ourselves. We know that we want to do our best possible work for our current clients, so that's where we focus our efforts on. But we're always looking at new ways to grow. We expanded a bit to Florida this last year. We took on a couple of clients in the Tampa area. And we also have started to realize, with my background in healthcare, Dave Olson also has a deep background in healthcare. We understand and have come to realize that our agency is very good at healthcare marketing. So we've kind of opened up a new branch of healthcare marketing to small and rural hospitals throughout the Midwest. And so we are looking to grow that way as well. So we're always looking at expanding our skill set as well, like how can we get better with our content writing, or how can we deliver better digital marketing and better digital strategies. So we're always looking at how to grow as a whole, but how to grow as our skill set and deliver more for our clients all the time.
What do you hope your clients are saying about you? Like, what do you want the marketing department to be known for?
Um, I would hope that we are known for being number one, delivering growth. That anybody that works with us sees results. That is the one thing that we're focused on, is making sure that what we deliver to the client grows their business in the end. Second, we want to be known for being the best marketing team in the Upper Peninsula. That's where we start. Everything we do is thought through strategically. Everything we do is we are polished, and we really try very hard to not let anything come out of the agency that we are not super proud of. So I think that more than anything, we want our clients to know that we help them grow, and we make them proud.
So, do you have any advice for students who are interested in business, particularly those who might be interested in marketing one day?
Um, my advice would be to challenge yourself. Always be willing to learn more, and press yourself on the things you're good at. Like I kind of said at the beginning of our conversation, uh, if you find that you really like the graphic art side of things, like work on it, become really, really good at it. There is a big difference between someone who, I always kind of use it compared to photography. There's always a big difference between someone who like takes pictures and someone who has a real good eye for photography. It's the same with like graphic design, or someone who aspires to be like a social media manager. Um, you can do it, and there are lots of people who are pretty good at it, but it's a big leap to those who are really good at it, and that takes a lot of effort, a lot of learning, and a lot of, it's not just experience, it is learning about the industry trends. It is challenging yourself. So don't stop learning, and keep pressing to become better, because those who are the best at what they can do will find success.
All right. Lastly, is there anything else you would like students to know about this field that we haven't discussed yet?
Marketing is an awesome field to be a part of. It is a fun field. It is challenging. It's not the sort of Mad Men-esque field that you see on TV. But there is a lot of fun. There's a lot of collaboration. Um, if you have creative energy with coming up with ideas and visions, and how to um, convince people, and great communication skills, marketing is the field for you. Um, you're always getting to challenge yourself, and it's one of those fields where there really aren't bad ideas. Like there's always something good in every idea that you can think about. So if you've got creative juice in you, then for sure, like I always marketing is awesome for that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, David, for being with us today. I also want to say thank you to our other Tomorrow's Talent Series partners, MySTEM, Michigan Works, Bay College, Gogeeba Community College, and our CTE educators. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.